Hi, it is AEW Collision tonight, and we're getting more Continental Classic good stuff, among with a few other things, so let's go through it and the preview and stuff. So the first match, we haven't got the actual card at this time, so we're just going to go through the order I have them, is Claudio versus Mascara Dorada in the Blue League. Now, this would be Claudio and Moxley's second match this week. I want to know the reasoning for that. I want to know if that's related to what's going on with Darby, which we should find out about tonight. But I don't know. I'm not against it. It just feels a bit weird. We're getting these guys fighting twice, so maybe one week they're just not fighting. I don't know. This match, as you all know, I am a massive Mascara Dorada fan. I think he is insanely good, and obviously Claudio's great too. The big interest is with this is Claudio's now won the CMLL World Heavyweight Championship, I think it is. And obviously Dorada is side with CMLL. So I feel like this may become a tie for a future match, but I don't know if, Dorada qualifies as World Heavyweight, but I don't know. This definitely have a lot of interest from the CMLL side. I think it'll be a great chemistry. Big, tall giant like Claudio and Mascara Dorada. Just going insane as pair. Oh my god, I've got a feeling just thinking about it. Claudio's going to hit the giant man swing and Dorada's going to flip out of it. That's how insane this guy is. Who do I think wins? I think Claudio gets the win, but then it makes sense to give Claudio the win, right? But it's against Dorada, and I want to give Dorada the win. He hasn't had a win yet, so I want Dorada to win, but I think if they give Dorada the win, it will be setting up a future program with him and Claudio at CMLL. Or if it's not, Claudio's winning. It makes sense for either way, but I think the more logical choice is Claudio. But if Dorada wins, definitely they're setting up something in the future, which, yes, all for. Now, next is another Continental Classic Blue League match. We have Roderick Strong versus Orange Cassidy. Now, this one, for me, is obviously got a bit of a build-up in Dynamite where Roderick's still not part of the conglomeration and, everyone thinking he is. I think, personally, Cassidy gets the win. I think Orange Cassidy will get the win here just to kind of enrage Roderick more. I think this will be a fun match, I don't think this will be bad in any way. These two guys are on the same level in the sense of they're both extremely talented. Anyone who knows wrestling knows how good these two guys are. They're kind of underutilized, personally. But they're also just consistent as all hell. And that's what I'm going to look forward to. Yeah, I think this could be a really solid match. It should be, really. I think this will be quite close. This could be a draw. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the first draw at the Continental Classic. But I think Cassidy winning sets up more with Roderick, and that's kind of the more intriguing route for me. Now, after that, we have apparently the sit-down talking segment building up the Women's Tag Team Tournament Final, which is going on next week at Winters is Coming. This is obviously between the Babes of Wrath, Harley and Willow versus Tony and Mina, and Tony Schiavone is in the middle of it. I'm still kind of struggling with the decision of face versus face in the final. And there's not that long of a build, so they can't really establish a true rivalry. I think it'll just be more Willow and Harley just being Willow and Harley being super fun. But then Tony will have like a long monologue about how much he loves Mina and how she is the champ. And then that'll be it. I don't think it'll be a brawl or anything. I'd be surprised if so, but maybe we get an interference. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if this became one of those situations where like a match gets announced from it. Like maybe the Sisters of Sin, Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir come out and then they all have to do an 8-man tag for Collision. I don't know if I'd like that, but it wouldn't surprise me, I guess. Kind of makes sense to do that if it's faces and obviously the heels are now out. I think Marina Shafir and Megan Bayne will have some sort of, appearance tonight. But the promo will be good. But I think it'll spawn into a match. Honestly, I think it will spawn into an 8-man tag tonight. Now, we also have a TBS title match for Mercedes Moné versus Layla Gray. Now, obviously, the big thing is that Mercedes Moné lost her Ring of Honor belt against Red Velvet, which I called. I was very happy about that. I haven't watched the card yet, but I believe it's really good. With this, this is obviously set up because of Mercedes' rage with Layla Gray. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. But I don't think she loses the belt here, but I think we start to see the cracks because there's a lot of stuff going on with Mercedes' booking in terms of she's being booked for a bunch of more indies, Rev Pro specifically, That's the one that jumps to mind. You know, these are the belts that she's got the titles for. So it makes sense that she's starting to drop them, obviously, through the crash out of losing the Women's World Championship again at AEW. So it feels like this could be it, but I don't feel like she'll lose the TBS. I think that'll be the last one to go. I don't really know anything about Leela Gray, so I can't really predict how she's going to be, but we all know how good Mercedes is, and Mercedes is a great talent who will, honestly, just highlight how good other people are. So, Leela Gray, I assume, to get a good show out, because that's kind of what happened with Red Velvet, and I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed her. Now, we also have a segment advertising we'll hear from Swerve Strickland. I have a theory that we haven't got it confirmed yet, but last few collisions, it's kind of a norm to get an MXM TV Open Challenge. And I feel like, I don't think Swerve will answer it, but I feel like one of the ops will answer it, and then Swerve will come out, and then that'll lead to that, maybe. I don't think we get a Hangman appearance yet. I think Hangman comes out next week, but I think this is the solo Swerve's appearance, kind of like what we had with Hook and Hangman last week. So I feel like maybe Hobbs, or maybe not Shibata because he had the match. Maybe Hobbs comes out and answers the challenge, and then Swerve chases after him and stuff. So that could kind of lead into something. But I feel like that's how we'll get the Swerve segment. And honestly, the prediction of the MXM TV protection isn't insane. So there's that. Now, the supposed main event, which if it's not the main event, I'll be shocked, is, I believe for the first time ever, Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita in the Continental Classic in the Blue League again. Again, Jon Moxley making 2 matches this week. This, I cannot stress this enough. I'm not normally one of those people. I really think Takeshita should absolutely destroy Moxley. I think this should be the most clear-cut victory of the entire Continental Classic so far. I think Takeshita should make, not light work, but I think it shouldn't look like it's in any doubt. I mean, they'll have some mental strategy and stuff going on from the stuff going on with the Claudio and stuff, but they're also, even Moxley done a little promo at Ring of Honor, and he mentioned it in the backstage one after last match in the Continental Classic, where they're mentioning the Don Callis family, so it feels like they might sort of be laying seeds for something with that, with the Death Riders and the Don Callis family. But I feel like Takeshita just, there's not a lot of people that should be beating Takeshita. There's no problem with losing to Jon Moxley. The guy's one of the wrestlers of the year. He's insanely good, all-timer. But Takeshita's the guy at the minute, and he has to win. I would genuinely be shocked if Jon Moxley wins this. I feel like Takeshita should make... This shouldn't be one of those quick matches. It should be one of those matches where Takeshita just gets it done. It's a good showcase of both guys, but then it's like it kind of just leads into something else, I guess. I don't know. It should still be very big because the match itself will be insane. Both guys can hit hard, and Takeshita's athleticism mixed with Moxley's just stature and stuff. This could be one of the matches. I'm really intrigued. I'm sure this is the first time ever. Correct me if wrong. But again, I think Takeshita should win. I think Takeshita should absolutely wipe the floor with Moxley. But I cannot wait. I'm really looking forward to this. This is, again, one of the reasons we all love the Continental Classic. But, yeah, big Takeshita guy, big Moxley guy. So, this could be insane. So, that is our preview for Collision tonight. Do I think anything else happens? I would like to see a backstage segment from someone like... a Bandito. We haven't seen Bandito and FTR. I'm sure... No, we got FTR last week. No, we're going to get FTR this week, actually. I just realised. They did announce FTR's going to have some sort of appearance with the Bang Bang Gang. They're teasing that up, so I assume that'll happen and announce their match for either the next week's showings or, you know, build that up to World's End. But, yes, we should be getting FTR, and that's just going to be fun because last week's segment with the Bang Bang Gang was excellent. So, I've almost forgot about that. That's not even announced, by the way. So I haven't even got a card to put up here, so yay! But yes, what do you think will happen in Collision Night? What's your honest predictions? And how good do you think Moxley versus Takeshita is going to be? Because I cannot wait.